amazing weather. And let me tell you, right now it's 38 degrees back home. We have a half inch of snow. So you can imagine the amount of arm twisting that took place to get me to come to California for a weekend. But really, and thank you all for being here, because if you weren't going to show up, there wasn't any need for me to come and talk to nobody. I still would have came, but it would have defeated the purpose. Our campaign, we managed to, if you don't know about our race, I'm a union iron worker, and I was doing that for 20 years. That was my ticket to the middle class. After having struggled with medical bills that drove me into bankruptcy, having cancer when I didn't have any health insurance, and they told me I wouldn't have a son after that. And a few years later, I have a 13-year-old son. So what I do now has to do with his future, to help him, to make sure he doesn't have to struggle, and all of his friends and all of our kids don't have to go through what I do. But I'll never forget getting a phone call. I was on the 32nd floor. We were building a high-rise. I got a phone call from the Senator Sanders campaign, and it was during lunchtime. And the call was, "Hey Randy, Senator Sanders is coming to town. He's running for president, and we're wondering if you would be able to speak at his campaign." And I just laughed. I was like, "Okay, who is this? Really? You're punking me, right? Nobody's going to call a construction worker. It hasn't happened before." And it ended up being a legit thing. So that was the first time I got to meet Senator Sanders. And when I decided to run for Congress, it was a big deal that somebody with his name recognition came to Wisconsin, believed in me, a construction worker going up the third most powerful Republican in the country.
Okay, perfect.
And that meant everything to me. Because I was sick, and I'm sure I was the only one in Wisconsin that did this, but during the State of the Union address, when the speaker, and he was on the right side of the screen, I always took my Proud to be a Union Thug t-shirt and covered it up. I put it over the corner of that TV so I didn't have to see him. So it's a good thing now. We have to get rid of the guy in the middle, though, and we'll replace him with Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
And, we have Speaker of the House, and we also need to get somebody in the Senate, too, because I'm getting tired of looking at his face as well. So it really is a privilege when I'm asked to go travel any place on behalf of Senator Sanders, because he's the real deal. I mean, he came to Wisconsin after Scott Walker, who, I'm sure you remember too, dropped the bomb on public sector workers, turned our state into a right-to-work state. And Wisconsin, it was a progressive, stronghold. It's where public sector unions were created. It was the first place that we had workman's comp, which has also been going under attack now. But these policies that are being put in place by these extremist Republicans, they're not doing anything for us. And that's why the same message that Senator Sanders had years and years ago, Medicare for all. I'll never forget marching with the Fight for 15 with the McDonald's workers, and people looking at me, you're like, "You're crazy. You really think burger flippers deserve $15 an hour?"
Yes.
I was like, "Yeah, they absolutely do." A matter of fact, I remember you complaining about people needing government assistance. Why do you think that is? If the corporations paid the workers what they're worth, gave them dignity, we wouldn't have to worry about it. We could use taxes on fixing the potholes, because you complain about those, running over those with your car all the time too. It's about priorities, and nobody in this presidential race has stronger priorities for working people than Senator Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
And it's about walking the talk. I just read last week. By the way, did you see that other Reuters poll where Senator Sanders dropped into first place? How about that? But he's been consistent. The message is exactly what we need. And the way we're going to win is, I'm looking at the way we're going to win. We're not the ones going in front of having, media shots just for photo ops. This is where the work's done.
Yes.
And Senator Sanders is running for the people that we don't get to go to the ribbon cuttings for all the new projects. We don't get to go for the photo ops where you turn the first shovelful of dirt over. That's not us. We're the ones that put the building up in between, from the beginning to the very end. We're the ones that get stuff done. So I want to thank you all for being here. I'm looking forward to keep this momentum going, because this energy is going on everywhere in the country. It was in Iowa a couple months ago. It was in Maine just a couple weeks ago. It's going on in Wisconsin, where we're going to have the DNC convention in 2020. and Senator Sanders won 71 out of 72 counties in Wisconsin. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to have a strong showing everywhere. So let's keep up the fight. It's about us, all of us, not just one person. So thank you, Solidarity. And I'm gonna leave as slowly as possible and enjoy the weather with the windows down. Thank you all. Have a terrific day.